You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is Zero Dark 30 breaking out of the bunker, coming at you right now with satire, right? You can't handle the truth. I know you can, but will the powers that be let you actually hear it? Well, the answer is only in certain circumstances. But you get to decide for yourself, folks. I want you to think for yourself. Think about what the hell's going on. I'm calling this a slow, steady move. Now, there have been big bursts of activity. But for the most part, the enemies of humanity, the enemies of liberty and freedom, the enemies of you and I, they are slow, but they are steady, and they are definitely persistent. They have no problem, folks, with lies, with exaggerations. They have no problem with any of that. It's their modus operandi. It's how they get it done. So, what are we talking about? We're talking about the Democrat Party, their masters, and everyone. I've got some examples. Brazil. Brazil was the home of Juan Bolsonaro. He was their version of Trump, right? He wanted liberty for the people. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't the greatest, but he was outspoken and he was beloved, yada, yada, yada. Well, this isn't your granddaddy's world where, goodness can prevail. This is one where you have to fight every step of the way, which is why I say you need to be prepared with food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and a means of self-defense. And be prepared all the way. In Brazil, they're now getting a taste. The steady push, the steady drumbeats of communism have been going on, and they finally found roots. Now, they want to arrest the former president. Oh, I wonder why. Isn't that what communists do when they take over? Well, communists are criminals up here. Criminals against humanity, first and foremost. They can make the argument inside their head, right, that it's okay to do what they do, that it's justified. Right? And so they're extremists of the most grotesque sort, having killed over 100 million people in the last 100 years. Communists, folks. And that's just killing. That's murdering. I'm not talking about people who died in prison. I'm not talking about people who were imprisoned their whole lives. I'm not talking about, how they condemn and control people, control their speech, their thoughts, their actions, how they turn the people on one another. To see something, say something, snitch techniques that communists use. And they're employing all of this down in Brazil right now, slowly, steadily pushing. They don't let up. The evidence is out there that Joe Biden, the Democrat Party, are totally involved in what's going on in Brazil. That the same mechanism that put Joe in place has put the commie down there in place, has put their regime in place. It's interesting because you keep hearing about the judges they have there. Judges who are making sure that the people are silenced, right? They lean very heavily on the judicial branch in Brazil as part of their government, their republic. So that's what the communists do. They go where the power's at, and they slowly take control, inch by inch. And then once there, then you're in trouble. Once they have control and power, then it's on. They don't give up. They don't back off. They don't quit. You expose them, they lie. So they slowly, steadily move in until you read the headlines one day and you realize, oh shit, right? They now have concentration camps. They're holding people against their will and in violation of their rights. Right? It's not the gulag It's Lula's gulag, the Lulag down there. I know, we've got our own here in the United States of America. It's called the Washington, D.C. Police. Where's Kevin McCarthy? His House of Representatives has exclusive jurisdiction. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17. Is exclusive jurisdiction to make the rules, to fix things. Where's he at? Because I'd like to know. Well, I'll tell you, folks. Right? He's not riding a white horse. He's not wearing the white hat, but he should be. But where is he? Right now, what's happening in Brazil isn't just for South America or Africa or other third world type, countries and regimes. It's for our world, America, and Europe as well. Right? It's here. I talked the other day about the old woman who survived the German Nazi Holocaust. She survived it, was captured, imprisoned in that, their version of Gulag in Germany was just a concentration camp, a workers' camp, a safety camp. They used to put people in those and then say, this is for your protection, right? Because they demonized the Jews so badly, the Nazis did, that people would assault them and beat them. Kind of like people who refused to get the Jim Jones juice were being assaulted in public, attacked in public. Now, this old woman, 85 years old, survived the Holocaust. She was being threatened with being arrested, sent to a mental institution, and being forced to take the Jim Jones juice. And here we are, folks. It's all happened. She has been arrested, no longer in hiding. Once again, she's been turned over to the authorities. She's 85. Folks, that makes her very, very young when she was captured by the Nazis. Right? Let's just say 1943. Right? She was born. So 53, 63, 73, 83, 93, 103, 113. 2023. That's what year it is. That's 80 years. So she was 5 years old if she was captured in 1943. She was born in 1938, in the midst of all this. She was 7 years old when the war ended, released from prison. And now she's back in it. And they're going to, that's right, they've mandated that she be held in the psychiatric center. And they're mandating that she get the Jim Jones juice. What do you think they have in mind for you and I? They're not just going to give up. They're not just going to go away. When we catch them in their lies, when we call them on their BS, they'll just continue to lie. They'll continue to slither and slime and snake their way out. You can't embarrass them into quitting. Hell, they can commit crimes and they don't go to jail. President Biden, Trump was told he needs to go to jail for having those documents, which he said were declassified. Right? He had 100 documents, about an inch worth of paper. Biden has boxes and boxes and boxes of papers held in multiple locations, not secured, civilian locations, personal locations, a fucking rental house that his son Biden lives in. One of the most irresponsible, drug-using, hooker-using, human-abusing people on the planet, Biden, Hunter Biden. And he's entrusted with secret documents. And where's the arrest warrant? Where's the outrage? There's a lot of talk and a lot of confusion. This is what happens when you have despotic SHTF regimes. Hell, I mean, they're having to be forced into addressing this. Now, Adam Shifty Shithead Schiff is saying, well, I'm going to reserve judgment before I say anything about this. Yeah, that way he doesn't have to say anything. He's going to see which way the wind is blowing before he does a damn thing. He's a liar. He's a piece of trash. And even if Biden is throwing out folks over this, even if he's impeached, even if he resigns, that's not going to stop this slow, steady move towards totalitarianism. Get prepared, folks. Chance favors the prepared mind. Does it not? Where would you be if you weren't listening and paying attention? Where would you be? Well, if you aren't fully prepared, if you don't know what's going on, you might find yourself in a gulag somewhere. Prisoner for doing nothing more than being alive and wanting to be free, and for not being prepared to take action on your own behalf. Chance favors the prepared mind? You bet. Semper Fi. Godspeed.